Of £210,000. Trump leads the overall head-to-head, remember, by 14-9, and he's won every time they've played against his opponent today, not least twice at the Crucible. Although he's lost the last 3 times they've played.
Judd beat Sean 4 frames to 3, despite Sean making 1-2-6, 1-2-1, 82 and 58. So I think the style of both players sort of suits one another. Both like an open game. Both really. Anything easy for Judd had he missed it, but he's got to follow it up with a double. Will be a great shot if this black goes in. Brilliant, great pot from Shaun Murphy. There was pressure on that one.
That might just be Murphy's best pot of the final so far. Hiatus would have been most beneficial for him, just to regroup. It's not been the start he would have hoped for.
9.
But the beauty of a long fight of shifts in momentum, twists and turns. And of course we saw one produced by Murphy, and coming from 6-2 behind.
Working out whether to top it through or screw back out of the pack. Be bringing reds into play. I mean, he's not got enough on the cue ball there. Just wanted a little bit more zip on that white. That red to the right of the pack, slightly detached, was always a...
Sean Murphy, 70.
Visit.
Oh, how close was he to that one? That probably would have looked good from where Sean, as he struck that one, he probably fancied it to go in. Yeah, brilliant shot from Judd Trump. The cross ball was always heading back to Bork as well. It was pretty much a natural.
Black ball.
Forward snooker for Judd, but he made sure to get that cue ball welded to that yellow. So Sean just trying to lay up to this red. It's all about pace.
Foul and miss. Foul and miss. Judge him.
It too hard. What a fluke, Sean, but through the pack.
Thing.
Sean Murphy won.
Well, that fluke is
You feel hard done by to not have a shot at a colour to middle.
And that is exactly what Trump...
Well, that red, we could be looking at that red come the end of this match. But that miss will do him no favours whatsoever. Judd has to capitalise on that. This will hurt.
There's been something about Sean Murphy's demeanour today, I think, in that sensational performance against Selby, has been absent thus far, for whatever reason. Trump has plentled O'Sullivan, but he hasn't had to be thus far. And what a chance he's got here to go 3 clear.
Edson thinking his quid's in. All of a sudden, the red goes in and Sean's back in control, but what a let-off. That type of miss from Sean in mind a major final, and Judd will. The best. If the interval was to come after this frame, it may not be much of an issue, but the fact he's got 6 frames to play, or 5 more after this one, he's got to pick himself up off the canvas.
He's got a gilt-edged chance to do that.
37.
He would have... The table was situated. So this is a real bonus for him.
Sean possibly just had one eye on where he was leaving his cue ball, trying to get nicely on the black, the correct side to get it back on its own spot. And you could see from his reaction how bemused he was by that miss.
51.
Frame ball for 4-1. Has done exactly what was required.
59.
Inflict some serious on the red with the rest. 3 balls that Murphy's missed with the rest today, but that one with the rest. What a time for it to happen.
67.
There's still plenty of time for... The signs aren't particularly promising for him at the moment. He's going to have to... Trump could be out of sight by the end of this first session. The other concern for Murphy is that Trump has still got plenty. Nothing particularly special from him, but just rock solid.
Insult to injury. Chance of a first century for Judd in this final. It'll be his 8th of the tournament, should be 8th of his career.
87.
This is what the best players do. Very rare you see a mistake like that one from Sean, but the best players, they step up and they punish you. And this black for the ton.
It was an extraordinary miss from Sean Murphy when he had the chance to do what Trump has just done. Clear Shanghai Masters final. Sean Murphy finally has a bit of traction, closing the gap to 5, but
got very close to that red. At this red to the yellow bag. Oh, and he's knocked it in. Brilliant shot from Sean.
very frustrating session for him overall, which could still end on a positive note. And that was a brilliant initial red. A great session himself. But he knows what Murphy did to Selby, and he knows he's got previous when it comes to momentous fight.
delicate cannon there just to hold the cue ball and leave himself on this red. Push the other one away from the black as well. On the back of the black now, maybe, unless he can get enough on the cue ball. Oh, he could just about. Well, he'd love to go into the pack here, leaving that red just above the black where Lawrence try and screw the cue ball out. Knowing you're going to be on that red. Free shot to bring more reds into play.
Two.
A little bit of pressure on this next one. Slightly closer to... That was excellent.
33.
Yeah, that was really well navigated because visit now for Sean. He's got the reds nice. It's a strange psychology to these long formats. Could have been 9-1 down, but all of a sudden 7-3 doesn't... And you expect his level to increase for the evening session. You know, he's played wonderfully all week. He's been clinging on to that hope that he can replicate that kind of form.
39.
And he's always loved the big stage, Sean Murphy. He's a showman. In his own words, he's a show-off. He likes being the centre of attention. He likes to entertain. Somebody's in front of a big crowd like this, he can get inspired. And when he does that, he can become very dangerous.
47.
Murphy converts this opportunity, starts fast this evening. We could yet be in for something special.
Sean Murphy has played this week, he'd have probably said, where do you sign me up? Because it's a healthy lead, but just the... But of course, we know how good a winner Judd Trump has become. Won 5 events last season. Be looking to kickstart his campaign.
Had exactly this lead over John Higgins back in 2012. Lost in a decider. He's lost twice in the final frame in this tournament. Worse moments, even when you're in a great position. First things first, clinch this frame, and he's on the cusp of doing it. This black will suffice for back-to-back frames. And you've got to give him credit. We know what a fine back victory over Selby, that he never quits. He'll always give it everything, even if the cause looks hopeless. At 7-1 down. But he's finishing what has been a frustrating afternoon here in Shanghai on the front foot.
81.
With a century.
Yeah, he's done very well here, Sean. Something towards the end of this, by how he puts his chalk back in his chalk pocket, he really puts it back move again.
Yeah, the whole Murphy swagger around the table is always a barometer of how he's feeling. We haven't seen that swagger to decisive session tonight. On track. Start a lovely long red, and there it is. Murphy.
Give us the nod, Sean. Give us the nod. There it is.
He didn't just finding the form that did for Selby. But better late than never.
Brilliant. Brilliant put through it. He's had to stand up and find something, and he has done. He's at least kept his hopes alive.
And that Brown in the previous frame when he bowled was gutsy as well. At that stage, Trump might have been matches over. 7-3, it's not. Take nothing away from Trump's with Murphy's many errors in the early frames, but he knows the job is far from done.
121.
And all of a sudden he looks like Sean Murphy again. The action is back.
126.
For whatever reason, he's looked subdued. He's finishing it in the right way.
130.
And we could yet be in. It's close. Oh, unlucky. It's been Judd, his 5th of the tournament, but it's Trump who...
Second in as many frames, but he's still trailing 10-5 to Judd Trump. Of course, did all his damage early on in this match, and indeed early on this evening when he pulled away to 10-3.
I don't think Murphy, but he may have got away with that one. Got to play a different red here, Trump. Maybe a double. It's amazing can be finished in front of that red, covering by the blacks, because to make you miss the double.
Well, time sort of stood still there, didn't it? Everyone was just watching that red to see if it was on target.
No, it was a very good shot.
So,
9. Seventeen. $25.
And again, that cue ball just races on. Just a question of getting the screw right here, and he hasn't done it. Wanted to be. Yes, the cue ball a tiny bit, but not too bad. Missed these blacks. And he played it gently. If anything, to the ends. No plants appear to be there.
I'm sure he would have loved to have won with another century, but bottom line, just wants to win. He left a chance here, though, for Sean Murphy. Well, on another day, I guess Murphy covers that, but he did miss them.
So back to the yellow. He'd have to, I think, force this to get down the left side. He wants to be on the left of the table rather than the right of the table. Played a very delicate little shot positionally. If this goes, that is a very good shot indeed. Better than it might be in the way off 2 cushions on that shot. You can see the area. You can see why he wanted to finish on that side. 3 reds all lined up.
Time for the game, and indeed for the top players. Judd Trump will be 35 in the 1960s, but he and the players of that time were the ones who created the opportunities for the players that came after them, and in turn those taking the game around the world. Of course, we lost Ray this weekend, very sadly.
Close to the winning line, and this Shanghai Masters is not on his CV currently as a win, and he won would be something he would enjoy greatly. Whether it be a ranking event or invitational. Action to the right, that's all. Yeah, it's been a terrific event. High prestige to kind of start the season. And there's already been an event, but A lot of terrific snooker to come over the next few months up until the World Championships, but this is
to the snooker's required stage. He's always loved coming to Shanghai. He's lost 3 finals here. But Murphy will get the chance to play for it.
34.
Yes, he'll come back to the table. Of course, one snooker, not impossible if the right opportunity came his way. And Judd will not be feeling he's over the line just yet, because if you give a chance, then the snooker is very easy below the black. Anyway, we're not at that stage yet, but the match isn't quite done at 11, not 10.5. You can have something big.
1.
You're going to have to play the blue.
.62, wouldn't it? So still be 1, but even so, it's got to go in. And it hasn't.
Murphy, 1.
Like, these are the moments you dream of, aren't they, as a player? The match is won. You're at the table and you know that when the break ends, if it ends, shake your hand. So these are the moments you dream about in snooker.
Well, he won. Isn't a ranking event, but it's one very highly prized because of its elite nature.
7.
And Judd Trump will have it. His 40th professional title. And he's played terrifically well. Beat Mark Williams, the man here in Shanghai, winning the last 4. But Trump 7-1, and then again the great start to the second session, winning the first 3. And after that, it just... The first of how many this season? That's the question. There's plenty of titles to contend for.
Yes, as big as this Shanghai Masters, he'll put all his effort into the ones he does play in, because he's won a lot of them before, so he always goes out there with a view to winning each event like it's the biggest.
29. 31.
Yeah, he sees a trophy, he wants to win it. It's a great act he's had.
I mean, he generates a phenomenal amount of cue speed. Come through so quickly, I think comes around his body a little bit. Making all these extraordinary shots. Physically, other players just can't play them because they can't get that with the same speed through the ball.
Judd Trump makes a perfect start to the new snooker season. Another trophy for Judd Trump's collection. Going to be more, maybe many more to come, if recent years have been anything to go by. For him, Eurosport, it's goodbye.